And he had a team who helped him with everything from setting up rooms to supplies. Now, prosecutors also said freak-off activity is the core of this case. They say the victims and escorts that were presented in this case so far is just the tip of the iceberg. They also argued that if bail was granted, risk of obstruction would be heightened because of Combs's power. And they say just last week he contacted a witness over 50 times. Now, Sean Diddy Combs...
See, that's what they're worried about. Freak-offs, y'all. Just unending sexual parties, using, abusing, mistreating. I'm sure there's people there that are willing and ready, but there's also probably people that have been forced to be there, or young people and children. I don't know. I can't imagine. I've got to sit front row virtually on this trial and hear everything that's going on, because y'all, the mental health behind it, you can talk about Diddy all day long. You can talk about what Diddy's done. You can talk about, his money, his power, his fame, whatever he's done. You can trash him if you want. The bottom line is, beyond Diddy, it's the people who have been harmed. It's the people who have been hurt, abused, and not the people willingly who walked into this, but the people who have been drug into this and their lives forever changed. The trauma, the PTSD that goes with this is enormous. And realizing you can't ever trust a person again. You can't ever feel safe and vulnerable with somebody again. And you've been harmed and mistreated and abused and, drugged and sexually mistreated for so long. There have to be victims whose lives will never be the same again. And that's the part that just breaks my heart, because the mental trauma that comes from this. And if you've ever been in a situation where you've been forced, abused, mistreated, used, trafficked, any of that, you can't trust. You can't count on the fact that somebody's really going to be there for you. It takes a lot of therapy. It takes a lot of work. Definitely some EMDR with that, with the PTSD. We have to understand there's way more. I mean, there's layers deep of this that goes to a lot of people who need a lot of attention at this point, and care and support, not just the notoriety of Diddy and what he did, but there are people behind this that he's done stuff too, apparently, that we're going to hear about.
Attorney argued Combs is trustworthy. He had a drug addiction and anger issues, and that he went to rehab for that. But he said that they also said that he had a foolproof system for bail. A new security service would monitor Combs 24/7 at his Miami home. He would not have access to internet or phone, so he would not be able to contact witnesses, and he submitted his passport. They say also in good faith, he put his $45 million Miami mansion up, his home up for collateral, and is in the process of selling his plane. Now, at the end, the judge ruled this bail package was insufficient. Listen to his attorney as the attorney left the courtroom just a short time ago.
It did not go our way. The fight continues. We're not giving up by a long shot. I told Mr. Combs I'm going to try and get his case to trial as quickly as possible. I'm going to try and minimize the amount of time he spends in very, very difficult and, I believe, inhumane housing conditions.
Inhumane. I mean, it's compared to what he lives in, it's inhumane. But, there's a lot of people who go to jail, and it's jail. That's what it's for. It's not meant to try to make you comfortable. So the inhumane part I don't get. And you could turn around and say, well, all the things he's accused of sound pretty inhumane to me. The things that he's been involved in sound inhumane to me. How about the people who have been mistreated or hurt or abused? If that's the case, I'm not judging ahead of time, but if any of those things are true, what does he have to say about the things he might have done to young people that were inhumane, that they didn't really want to happen? So, boy, what a statement. And this isn't about the money. He can put up all the money he wants. I think the judge in the court is saying this has nothing to do with money. I'm not worried about you securing bail. I'm worried about a lot of other things happening outside of that. And I'm not going to have a phone. I'm not going to have internet. That's